You hear it before you see it. The creak of damp timber beneath boots not your own. The dry crackle of leaves underfoot, sharp against the hush of a forest trying to forget. The wind presses cold fingers along your cheek, carrying the scent of wood smoke and something sourer, unwashed bodies, old sickness, ash. Your back aches from the weight, not just the bundle strapped to your shoulders, blanket, kettle, the wrapped limbs of your youngest, but the older, heavier load, the silence left behind. A cabin, hearth still warm, door swinging gently open. You did not close it. You did not look back. You keep walking. Round you, others move in strained procession. Some hobble, some are carried. Wagons groan beneath the weight of elders, their faces lined as the bark of river trees. Soldiers march alongside, rifles cold and ready. They do not speak much. They do not need to. The proclamation has already been read. The full moon of May is already on the wane, General Scott's voice had echoed. Every Cherokee man, woman, and child must be in motion. And so you are. Stories like these are only fragments of what history tried to bury. Unveil, the past never truly dies. Follow its whispers by subscribing to Veil of Ages. The air tastes of coming rain. Your moccasins soak through with frost, toes numb. Somewhere to the rear, a child coughs. Dysentery, maybe whooping cough. You dare not turn. The line does not stop. You try to count how long it's been. Weeks. The stockade at Fort Cass blurred, time into something raw and sleepless. You remember the holding pens, the stench of too many in too tight a space, the whispered prayers beneath makeshift quilts. Rattlesnake Springs, they called it. You drank there once, before the soldiers took your musket, before they took your mother. Somewhere in the bundle on your back, a necklace rests, a carved bone disc strung on braided fiber, cool against your child's chest. It once belonged to your brother. He did not make it out of the depot. What would he say now? You pass the broken wheel of a wagon mired in mud. Oxen shift, snort, refuse to pull. A woman kneels nearby, washing blood from her skirt with snow. Her eyes are open, but see nothing. You do not speak. You have not spoken in hours. And yet, a question burns. Is there an end to this? A place beyond cold and hunger in March. A bend in the trail reveals a narrow river crossing, Barry's Ferry. The water swells dark and impatient, chewing at its banks. The line pauses, tightens. Elders huddle deeper in their shawls. A murmur stirs. How many will drown here? You taste metal in your mouth, hunger perhaps, or fear. A soldier's voice shouts orders. You are herded closer to the bank. The ferry is small. It will take hours, maybe days. Snow begins to fall, not thickly, but with a steady, stubborn weight. You lift your child higher on your back. She does not wake, and as sleet begins to rattle through bare branches, the thought returns. How many more days? How many more children buried beside this trail? This is the trail where they cried, not just from pain or loss, but from the unraveling of a people each step away from home, a stitch undone. And as the wind picks up, carrying with it whispers from hearths long extinguished, remember this. You've only just stepped into the veil. Deeper truths lie ahead. Like this story, and let the past pull you back again. The morning after the ferry crossing, your legs barely carry you. You wake to the sound of hooves thudding on frozen soil and the sharp rattle of harness chains. Your blanket is stiff with frost, the breath of those around you hanging in the air, like ghosts waiting for names. Someone did not wake. You do not ask who. The trail does not wait for morning. Your feet blistered and blackening, move because others move, because the soldiers shout, because behind you lies only memory and ash. Your hands tremble as you adjust the cloth around your child. Lighter now. She's not eaten since the crossing. Your mind wanders where your mouth will not. Will she make it to the next camp? Will I? The sky hangs low, gray and indifferent. Snow turns to sleet. A boy behind you slips on a rut of ice and does not rise. His mother kneels, not screaming, not weeping, only rocking. The guards push her forward. She does not feel their hands. You march beside old men whose names once echoed in councils, their voices now thin with wind and wear. The council fire at Rattlesnake Springs, the last one, burns behind your eyes. The chants, the silence, the moment when no one knew what to say, because the words had all been spoken. And still, the army came. They took your land by treaty never voted on, signed by a few, called legal by many. You remember Chief Ross's face as he tried to plead with Congress. We are stripped of every attribute of freedom, but the paper held more weight than flesh. A gust of wind slices through your coat, and for a moment all you see them, those who stayed behind. The fires still burning when the soldiers arrived, the rifles, the orders. Every captured man must be disarmed, they had said. You had hidden your knife, you still carry it, tucked inside the foot wrappings. Not to fight, to cut meat, if you ever find any. But sometimes, in the deepest moments of cold, you wonder what it is truly for. At midday, the line passes a wagon sunk deep in mud. The ox is dead beside it, frozen eyes open. Inside, an elder woman clutches a silver comb, her hands too swollen to brush her hair. A child lies across her knees, unmoving. The soldier on horseback barely glances as he signals the column forward. The comb glints bright against the gray, symbol of nothing now but memory. She brought it from Georgia. It will be buried in Missouri mud. By the fire that night, if there is fire, you sit beside a man who speaks little. His face is scarred, his fingers stiff. He is one of the few who walked this land before the removals began. He says only, "This is not the end, just a new beginning for forgetting." You do not know what he means. The fire crackles. Your daughter's breath is shallow against your chest. You press her close and stare up at a sky too empty to hold stars. When will it end? When will we be allowed to remember in peace? The night deepens. The fire dims. The trail stretches ahead into silence and ice. You close your eyes and dream of red clay soil, of rivers warm with sunlight, of names not yet forgotten. Tomorrow the march continues. The final miles cut sharper than any blade. You walk slower now, everyone does. Ankles wrapped in rags, stomachs hollow, breath clouding in front of cracked lips. The trees have thinned and the ground is open, exposed, stretched wide like a wound refusing to close. You are in Arkansas now. The land rolls gently, pretending peace, but your body knows better. Your feet have measured over 1,000 miles, each one remembered by your bones. The old man who shared his fire with you 2 nights past is gone, vanished in the dark, perhaps, or buried beneath it. No one speaks his name. There are too many names already, and no earth soft enough to hold them all. Your daughter no longer cries. She sleeps more now, even when awake. Her fingers barely curl around yours. The necklace, your brother's, rests near her heart. She doesn't remember him. You're not sure if she ever did. Will she remember you one day, if you don't survive this last stretch? The soldiers are quieter now too. Less bark, more eyes cast downward. Perhaps they thought the trail would end their orders. Perhaps they now understand what it means to escort a dying nation. You pass another group, smaller, silent. They arrived days before, they say. The land is not what they were promised. There are no homes, no stores of grain, just red earth and wind. Still, it is land. Land you are now meant to make yours again. But the soil feels strange beneath your feet, not just unfamiliar, unwelcoming, as though it knows you were not born here, and mourns what you were forced to leave behind. One last campfire, ringed by ash and prayers. You listen as a councilwoman speaks, her voice hoarse with frost. She tells you this place will be home, that you must plant, build, survive, that this cannot be the end of your people. Someone places a worn scroll into the fire. It hisses, curls, is gone. The Treaty of New Echota. A memory set aflame. Your daughter's hand curls again, just slightly around your thumb. She's breathing, her eyes open, and still one question remains. Who will tell this story when your voice fails? Who will walk this trail again? Not in pain, but in memory. They call it the Trail of Tears. But in the language of your ancestors, it is remembered as Getsi Gaweli, the trail where they cried. You are among the last to cross into Indian territory. You are not whole, your family is not whole, but you are here, and that must mean something. You press your palm to the red soil. Above, the wind carries the last ashes of the past into the western dark, and the trail does not end. It echoes. They walked until the crying ceased, but the silence still speaks.